Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the 305 Gridiron. Josh, a.k.a. Aqua Ace, and myself, Anthony Pinzone, are about to break down the Miami Dolphins draft in the form of a mock draft. Who doesn't love mock drafts during the NFL draft season? The NFL Combine is now complete, so we have a little more information on these guys from a physical perspective, but also from a mental perspective because stories of the different interviews and all that stuff start to come out. So we're going to dive into all of that as we do the mock draft. It's going to be a bit of a combination. Can't wait to dive into it. Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the show where we talk about Miami Dolphins football all season long because, well, what else are you going to talk about? Jeez. We're going to talk about the Combine first, Josh, just a little tiny bit before we get into the mock draft because I don't want to leave the people waiting too long. So I think we're just going to talk about guys who kind of rose and fall without too much analysis on it because it is the Underwear Olympics. And actually, funny enough, I was listening to Sirius XM radio, and they were talking statistically. Results of the Combine don't actually have much effect on the draft, which is kind of crazy. I think it's the interviews have the biggest impact, but like the actual numbers are just kind of confirmations of what they see on tape. Yep. I think I forget who the example they used was. And what's up, Blake? Welcome to the show, buddy. The example they used an example where somebody absolutely Nick Emenwari. Nick Emenwari absolutely blew up the Combine last year and still fell to the second round.
Not by my choice.
Take it for what Take it for what it's worth. All you people out there who are thinking Sonny Styles is going to be in the top 5 now, well, maybe not. Maybe not.
Yeah. I really do think the draft is more of just checks and balances to what these guys and what you see on film, right? Because that's what happens. In the order of things, it's they watch the season, they break down each game, they break down the plays, and then they say, okay, this player looks slow. Let's see what he runs at the Combine. Oh, hey, his tape looks slow, or his tape looked fast, but he ran a high 4.5. How does that translate? They do all of their calculations and all of their assessments there. So yeah, the Combine. I used to think the Combine was like the end all be all of draft boards, and oh my God, this guy, Sonny Styles, holy shit, he's gonna be the number 1 overall pick now. When in reality, it's more just checks and balances.
It was a little bittersweet this year, too, for the NFL Network crew. NFL Network, if you don't know, they're the ones that kind of created the Combine in terms of televising it and making it an appealing thing for people to watch and all this, having the stories and all that stuff. But as you know, Josh, NFL Network was bought out by ESPN, and that transition happens this year. So there's a lot of questions around whether or not they're still going to have like a hugely televised Combine or if it's going to be, I don't know, something else. We never know.
Yep.
Before we get into just kind of breaking down the Combine a little bit, talking about the guys who rose up the boards, guys who may have dropped down a little bit or had disappointing performances, I'd be remiss if I didn't remind people that we do have a website now, the 305gridiron.com. And Josh, I'm super pumped because I didn't test a new feature, but I just implemented it and hope for the best. And it seems to be working. That is, the live show is on the website right now. You can go to 305gridiron.com and we are live on the actual homepage, which is really cool.
Our actual website.
Right. Yeah.
It's insane. It's such a cool thing to be able to say.
I don't even I'm like a proud papa over here. I'm just looking at it over here on this screen. I'm like, this is crazy. Look, it's amazing. But yeah, go check it out. We have the big board up there. We have a lot of changes coming this Friday. I've been working really hard over the past 2 or 3 weeks to kind of get Josh's feedback on a few things and then, get some updated stuff. This mock draft will be up there on Friday as well. So once we complete this mock draft, I'm going to... What's that?
I said V2 of the...
version 2. Yep, version 2. Version actually,
top 150.
And version 1 is going to be up there as well. I haven't figured out a way yet, Josh, to keep multiple versions of your big board up there, unfortunately, but I have figured out a way to keep multiple versions of the mock draft. So we will have, by the time the draft hits, we'll have 4 versions of our mock draft, and all 4 of them will be on the website. So that's pretty cool.
Yep.
And I think the last thing we have the draft. We're gonna have draft results up there with our analysis as it happens. We'll be live streaming, of course, during round 1 of the draft, and I will be updating. You'll have to kind of do your thing and wax poetic for a little bit as I update the website.
Well, as we all know, I'm very good at that. So
you are very good at that. And then we have off-season transactions. We'll keep track of everything that's happening in the off-season for you, so that you have one place to go and just check out what's going on.
Yeah. And between when did it go live? A couple weeks ago.
2 weeks ago now.
Yeah. So between 2 weeks ago and the week before the draft, I will have version 2 of the 305 Gridiron's top 150 big board is about to go live post combine. All players updated, and a bunch of players have shifted up and down. Right before the draft, there will be a third version that goes up with final evaluations, final drafts, final placements, and whatnot, so we can enjoy the draft and have a read along document, if you will.
Perfect, man. I'm so excited about this website. I mean, it was a spur of the moment thing. I didn't tell Josh I was building it. I just one weekend was like, I'm going to build a website, and I did it.
It's beautiful. It's absolutely beautiful.
I'm so proud of it. I'm so happy we have it. It's so cool. Let's move on. Let's move on. NFL Combine. Let's go check out who had the highs and who had the lows. And Josh, I do not think we can start this conversation without talking about Sir Sonny Styles.
Jesus.
What an amazing performance. I mean, everybody thought that Emanwari had a great performance last year, and then Sonny Styles is like, hold my beer, bro.
Hold my beer.
Absolutely insane. I think that I did not have a love in this draft. I did not have a guy to hang my hat on. I was very just kind of like, there's a lot of guys, right? And there's a lot of media talking about how this draft isn't very good. And then maybe the draft still won't be very good. Maybe this class still won't be very good. But I can tell you it won't be for a lack of athleticism, because they broke nearly every combine record on that there was to break.
Statistically, this was the fastest collection of NFL of college talent at the NFL Combine in the history of the Combine.
I think they said the quarterback room was the only position not to break the speed record.
Yeah, and they missed it by like
they were second. Yeah,
they were second, and they missed first by like 0.8 seconds on an average of all of their.
They can thank Taylon Green for even getting them up there. I mean,
Jesus, dude.
Talk about a 4.37 or something like that.
Talking about a stallion, dude. Jeez.
Oh, crazy.
Yeah.
So, Sonny Styles is my guy. There's another guy in here I want to talk about, and then I'll turn it over to you, because they're really the only two that I'm like in love with at this point. And that's, I'm going to go right back to the tight end position like I did last year with Tyler Warren. I'm going to Kenyon Sadiq.
Jesus. Wow.
The dude flew. Every combine thing that he participated in, he was amazing at. And he went from being the tight end position as a whole went from being, well, this isn't as good as last year, but it's still pretty good, to, well, there might be 2 tight ends in the first round now.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, it's Sadiq's performance. He looks fake.
Yeah.
Like, from a physical. I mean, he looks, I was watching the comment like, are you kidding me? Yeah. Fucking really, dude?
It's like remember when there was that picture from Tennessee when Derrick Henry was a rookie standing next to Deion Lewis? Yeah. Like, that's how I feel watching Kenyon Sadiq. It's just like, that is a made-up action figure that's out on the field performing for everybody.
Yeah, and really, his career, in my opinion, is not going to be mediocre. It's going to be one of two things. He's either going to be an absolute problem, or he's going to be a 1 year and done. Like that it's going to be one of the two. Right? He's either going to be Vernon Davis 2.0, or insert high-end tight end that was drafted that we don't remember because he sucked.
Who are some guys you wanted to highlight for stock up, and then I can start off stock down for us next too.
Yeah, for me it was a handful of folks. I mean, outside of the obvious ones. So I think Dylan Thieneman really had himself a hell of a day and put himself in the conversation of safety 1. I have him as safety 2, jumping one of my man crushes in this draft. Emmanuel McNeil Warren. I think Daniel Thieneman had an absolute hell of a day at the Combine. He crushed all of his interviews from what reports are saying. Todd McShay, I think, has him as safety 1 right now. I have him as safety too. Like I said, I think he was phenomenal. I think the offensive linemen as a whole were okay. I think a lot of the top tackles will probably and should probably move inside based on their arm measurements and some of their statistical kind of measurements that they had at the combine. But that being said, I think the post combine, and I felt this way right before the combine, but I'm gonna butcher this guy's first name, Olavega Ione.
Sure.
The guard from, and I'm blanking now that I'm fucking live on the show. Anyways, he is far and away the number one, in my opinion, offensive lineman in the draft. I know he won't get taken at he won't be the first offensive lineman taken because, people look at tackles as kind of the more premier position, which it should be, but he is far and away tested far and away better than any offensive lineman, in my opinion. I think Jeremiah Love, this one is a little obvious.
But he still had a really good combine, though.
Dude, he went from number 6 on my board to number 1 on my board after the combine. So from V1 to V2. He had himself a hell of a day. And last but not least, Emmanuel McNeil-Warren, for me, I know some people are down on him. I'm really high on him. I thought he showed himself very well. Again, he dropped from 2 to 3, from a safety 2 to safety 3. But that had a lot less to do with his performance at the combine and a lot more to do with Dylan Thieneman's performance. So,
yeah, I saw he was on stock down lists, and it wasn't because he had a bad performance. It was just because the other safeties had such good performances that they kind of outshined him. There's a lot of people on our list for stock up, but we didn't want to make this a full combine episode. So, go check out some articles out there. There's a lot of guys who did really, really good things for themselves. There's a few guys who they didn't do bad things for themselves, but measurements and stuff are going to have a hugely negative effect. And I can't think of anybody more than Ruben Bain Jr. Comes in with the second or first shortest arms ever for the edge rusher. And there has never historically in the National Football League been a guy with his arm size that has been successful. That's a really bad sign for him.
Yeah, I will say this. I think if there is going to be a prospect that has incredibly short arms, but that succeeds, it will be Bain Jr. His college tape is insane. And his testing outside of the measurables, like the physical measurables, wasn't that bad. I mean, he ran well. His drills were pretty damn good. But you look at his college tape and he's taking on some of the tackles that we have listed, and that we being the collective we have listed as some of the top talent in this draft. He's taking them on one-on-one and making them look stupid. So, can he learn to use his T-Rex arms as an advantage? Sure, absolutely. And like I said, I do think that if anyone in recent history is going to kind of turn what is a perceived negative and a statistical negative into a positive, it could and should be him.
Yeah, the other edge rusher with the shorter arms was actually in this class too, Cassius Howell, which is crazy.
Yep.
The other big one for me, and this is kind of a tentative stock down, and that's Caleb Downs, man, the safety. I know that you're huge on this guy.
Yeah.
But there's conflicting reports coming out of the combine that he could have some serious medical issues. But the problem is they're conflicting reports, so we don't actually know for a fact if these medical issues that got leaked out, which I hate that they got leaked out for him.
Me too.
But if they are real, they're talking about degenerative ACL, which is a huge thing. The other thing they mentioned was just a partially torn meniscus, which isn't that big of a deal.
Nope.
But if he does have a degenerative ACL, that's a huge flag that would probably take him out of the first round.
Yeah, I don't know if he'd get out of the first round. I don't even know if even with that, if he'd get out of the top 20, in my opinion. I mean, he's that talented. Apparently, he injured his knee at the Giants stadium walking for an interview. I don't know how true that is, but that was something I saw pop up, and I was like, of course, the Giants, right?
Yeah, you shared that, and I was like,
I don't know if that's true
satire,
or not.
But the guys the guy's account has like NFL in the end. That's usually like the real guys.
Honestly, for me, like, it's hard to know because there's so much misinformation. People are leaking shit all the time to try to, for example, have a talented player drop to them, right? So they might be sneaking out stuff third party, and so we don't really know what's true and what's not until we see it firsthand or secondhand, I
Honestly,
guess.
and truly, I only bring it up because I think there's two things that come out of the combine that you realistically see people really fall for, like very far, and that's medical and character.
Yeah.
So if you have, I mean, we saw with Shador last year, the character concerns dropped him all the way to the 5th. And I don't think he's a 5th round talent. I think he's a little better than that. And then, we've seen countless guys with medicals fall out. The biggest one is way back for you youngsters, but Arian Foster fell out of the draft completely because he had poor medical review. Ended up having a really good career, but that's not.
And I'm going to be honest with you, like even if it's a torn meniscus or if it's a knee injury that requires some kind of surgery, if I'm the Dolphins and he's there at 11, I already know where you sit with this because we've had a side chat. I got to be honest with you. I'm probably knowing where we are in this rebuild and what we're trying to accomplish as a team. If he's there at 11, I'm personally taking him. I'm not saying the Dolphins will, or you would want him. But for me, he is, I think he's number 3 on my top 150, if I'm not mistaken.
5, I think.
5. This dude is insane. So hopefully it's nothing too serious.
Yeah, I mean, my argument against that is that because we're so early on in the rebuild, that if he does have limited playing time, then he's not going to get to play for a good team, which would stink. What's up, Jorge? Welcome in, bud.
Hey, what's up, buddy?
Good to see you, dude. Welcome in. We're just about to get started.
It feels good to be live again because we can get our guys back. Yeah.
I love being live. But we're almost 17 minutes in and we haven't talked mock draft yet. And I promised we would get into this thing early. So let's dive into it, Josh. I know that you are going to share a draft board and you have your actual top 150 loaded in.
I lied to you. It does not allow me to do that. So I spent an hour and a half building out a big board on this website for nothing.
All right. Well, we can use the big board from our website or from your link, I mean. If you wanted to, whatever, we'll get through it. We're going to do 3 rounds, guys, because we have 5 picks in the first 3 rounds. And beyond that, it's really a crapshoot as to who you're going to get. So we're going to do the first 3 rounds of the draft. I don't believe we're doing trades, but we will talk about trade scenarios.
Yes.
So let's go ahead and dive into this.
And actually, you know what? Let me fix something real quick. So I don't want to go turbo. We'll do this so it goes a little slower. So we'll start the draft. We are drafting for Miami, right?
Yes.
So let's see who was. Okay, hold on. All right, so let's see who was taken. So taken number 1 overall, the Raiders took Mendoza. I think that's a fairly foregone conclusion at this point.
I would say so. Yeah.
The Jets pivoted and took Reuben Bain Jr. Again, this is PFF's grade, PFF's chart. So we have really no control over that. But I think, for me personally, I think this is a place where we could see Sonny Styles. I don't know how you feel about him going that high, but I mean, after the combine he put up, that seems like a Jet move.
It feels definitely like the Jets might go Sonny Styles there too. Yeah.
Yep.
But I can see an edge rusher just as much. It's going to be a defensive player no matter what. I would put money on. I'm not a betting man, but I'd put money on the fact that it's going to be a defensive player at 2.
Yeah, and I'll be honest with you, like this pick for me, there are like 3 or 4 players that I would choose before Reuben Bain Jr. for the Jets. But moving on at pick 3, we have.
But let's talk about that for a sec because I'm just looking at your board and you do have edge rusher David Bailey above Reuben Bain. You have linebacker Arvell Reese who could also be an edge rusher. It's going to depend on the team that drafts him.
Yep.
Sonny Styles, Lee Hunter you have up there too. So those are just some of the names that you would take over.
Caleb Banks, dude. Caleb Banks from Florida. He had the defensive tackle. He had himself a hell of a fucking combine. So
he did.
I'm not saying some of those go 2. I think at 2 it's really, Sonny Styles, probably David Bailey will be in question. Arvell Reese should be in question. Those 3 players and Caleb Downs. I would take all 4 of those before I would even consider Reuben Bain Jr.
Gotcha.
Personally. Let's see. So Cardinals take a tackle, probably the top, not my top tackle, but the top tackle, the consensus top tackle. Carnell Tate goes to Tennessee, the wide receiver out of Ohio State. I love this pick for them. I'm a big fan of his. I have him, 12 on my overall board.
Yeah, they desperately need playmakers too.
Yeah.
So,
and his comp for me is Chris Godwin and Michael or like a Michael Pittman Jr. type. Arvell Reese, I think if Cleveland gets Arvell Reese here, I think that's a steal. I personally think if Tate is there, or even if Tate isn't there, they probably go wide receiver before they go linebacker. Personally,
who's that?
But
The Browns?
Cleveland, yeah.
Oh yeah. You skipped Caleb Downs to the Giants, by the way.
Oh shit!
Which is hysterical because that's the rumor that he tore his ACL on their field. And
wouldn't that be fitting? Right? Wouldn't that be fitting? And then Sonny Styles to Washington, David Bailey. I'm just burning through these so we can get to what really matters here. Our pick at 11. David Bailey to the Saints. Jeremiah Love to Kansas City. This seems to be
it's a consensus if he makes it there.
If he's there, he's the pick. I don't think he makes it there personally. I think
I'm hoping he doesn't.
I think Jeremiah Love is probably going to, if I had to guess, probably going to New York to the Giants.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I think he could go that high, possibly to Washington to pair him with Jaden Daniels. I think that would be a great 1-2 punch. But Kansas City taking Jeremiah Love and then CJ Allen going to the Bengals. So
that's crazy. You have CJ Allen 68th on your board.
Yeah,
I'm not 10th.
I'm not a huge fan of his. Again, this isn't my list, so this is PFF's list. But not a huge fan of him. So
who does that leave for us then? As we
so really kind of the top player remaining here is Makai Lemon from USC, the wide receiver. I am terrified of him. He gives me, for those NBA fans out there, he gives me very much Ja Morant vibes, where uber talented, a specimen of a player, but just has this seeming mean streak in him that is just very questionable from a character standpoint. I could be completely wrong, just based on the what we're hearing, where he failed miserably, just crashed and burned in interviews across the board. Not a single positive thing to say. And then his media days or media sessions rather at the combine where he was, looking a certain way and acting a certain way. I don't know. I would stay 1,000 feet away from this guy if it was me.
Sure. What's up, Abel?
Welcome. Hey, what's up, Abel? What's up, buddy? And then Mansour Delane and Jamard McCoy, two cornerbacks that are often mocked, to one of them to Miami. Yeah. And then honestly, the only other players that I would consider for Miami is Jordan Tyson, the wide receiver at Arizona State. He's my wide receiver 1. I have him above Tate and Lemon. I think he's got scary talent. I'm trying to find him so I can put. Hold on, where the hell do I?
Jorge says he likes Drew Allar at the 11th pick. I think Drew Allar is not going anywhere near the 11th pick there, Jorge. I think.
Yeah, that's crazy early. I mean, he's got
probably get him in the 5th.
Yeah, he'll be there in the 4th or 5th round. If we took him with one of our later picks in the 3rd, okay, it wouldn't be what I would do personally. But yeah, he had himself a hell of a day at the combine though. But
he's got the physical tools, but not the production. That worries me.
But okay, so pick 11. What do you want to do? Which way do you see us going? I mean, we need what? We need a quarterback.
We need everything,
point, right? We need defensive players. We need wide receivers. We need guards. Where do you see us going?
Well, I mean, according to your board, and this guy moved up your board a ton. You have Lee Hunter at 6, who I believe is still on the board here. PFF has a different feeling on him.
Yeah, Lee Hunter's like all the way down here.
Than you do.
Yeah.
Honestly, I probably see us going defensive lineman if there's one worth drafting. We've mocked Mansour Delane to the Dolphins a few times already, so I kind of want to try something different this time around. I'm personally a fan of going with an edge rusher if there is one here. I don't know much about this Lee Hunter cat other than what you have on this big board here. So
yeah, I mean,
it says he's a strong interior presence, which isn't really exactly what I'm looking for.
No, I really think if you wanted to go edge, either Mesidor or Falk, it's probably the two choices.
Neither of those sparks a ton of excitement for me, so I'd probably end up going with one of the corners again if I'm being honest.
Yeah.
Who would you go with?
I mean, personally, if this is how the board fell, it would be between Mansour, Delane, McCoy, or Jordan Tyson for me, right? Because all we have right now is Jalen Waddle at the wide receiver position. So, he's a very tall wide receiver. He's a fast wide receiver. He had a hell of a day at the combine. His tape is insane. I mean, this guy is going to be like Megatron light. I mean, he has that kind of talent. Yeah. I'm not saying that that's where we go. I'm okay doing the boring thing, picking Mansour Delane because I like him over McCoy personally, just because of McCoy's injury history. And it's not it's not the sexy pick. It's the smart pick. That's where I would go. But, the first round is yours. Where do you want us to go?
I'm actually really tempted. I saw Spencer Fano still there too. And if we could lock up the right side of the line, that excites me a lot.
Yeah, and Fano's probably going to be better at playing guard, right? Personally,
we need a right guard too. Last time I checked.
So just keep that in mind. I mean, but you choose, man. There's really a ton of choices, and assuming you don't go Cassius Howell, I think we're in good shape. So who do you want to pick?
Yeah, I went Mansour Delane last time, so I'm gonna go with Spencer Fano here at 11.
Yeah, I love it. I absolutely love the pick. I think he'll probably start at right tackle, but I think he's going to be much better suited at the guard position. And if I'm not mistaken, he also did center drills, and people are saying, he could be a phenomenal center, like a top of the league center with his speed and power. So who knows?
Yeah, who knows? Who knows indeed.
So let's see who is here at 43. So our first pick was Spencer Fano. Round 2, pick 43, we have Abney the second, which is a decent cornerback out of Arizona State. R. Mason Thompson, who I think did himself a disservice at the combine personally, but is still very talented. Eli Stowers is getting all kinds of glow up at the tight end position. Omar Cooper Jr. is a very good wide receiver. He's the taller of the two wide receivers that Mendoza was throwing to. He is a very good player. I mean, I think he's a 6-foot wide receiver, but he's 204, and he had a hell of a day at the combine. Let's see who else. D'Angelo Pons that would probably be my choice with the first pick in this round personally.
We're in a second. Do we have 2 picks in the second? No, right?
No.
So I don't think he's making it to 75. I would love to get Pons at the first pick in the third, but I don't know if he's going to make it there.
Yeah.
What do you think? I mean, if they are serious about the inside out, and like there's guys who are equally talented here at the top of the we're close to the top of the second, 11th pick in the second round.
Yeah.
And they're looking at R. Mason Thompson versus an Abney. I have this feeling that if they're true to their word, they might stick to the edge rusher here or even a Hecknor, which I know you like, or a Henneckor, however you say that guy's name.
That's a tackle, yeah.
Max.
Yeah. No, I mean, I'm going to be honest with you. If I'm picking here as the Dolphins, I'm skipping Abney and I'm jumping to D'Angelo Pons. D'Angelo Pons might be a short corner, which is freaking a bunch of people out, but go watch his tape. This dude is a genuine shutdown corner. He's only 6'10" or 6'11". He's 6'11".
I think he's 5'9".
Yeah, he's short. He's short, but he plays like he's 6'3". And
I really like D'Angelo Pons. So I mean, if we end up with an offensive tackle potentially in the first, and then we get D'Angelo Pons in the second, I'd be pretty pumped about that.
Same here. And Anthony Hill Jr. was a guy I was high on early. I kind of faded on him a little bit. So really, for me, I'm deciding between Omar Cooper Jr. and D'Angelo Pons here personally.
Who's that linebacker we like too? That I always forget his name. Rodriguez.
Yeah, he's down on their list. He's ranked 84. So in this scenario, he will be there. If he fell
to us in the third, I'd be surprised. But
yeah, I don't think so. I mean, I think he's gone at the top of the second. Personally,
I do like to mention names to watch. Names of guys that we like to watch. Though I think Jacob Rodriguez had a fantastic combine. He's a guy that Taylor turned us on to. I'm pretty sure. Or at least Taylor's been talking about him longer than we have.
It's Taylor's crush, that's for sure.
Yeah. So Jacob Rodriguez is a really interesting name here too. Again, I'm so interested to see like what our draft philosophy is going to be. But for me personally, and I know for you, D'Angelo Pons is a standout.
Yeah, I mean,
I'd be
great
pumped to
coverage
get him here.
grades. You know,
Yeah,
was very consistent with his playing time. Tons of coverage time. He can play in both man and press coverage and zone. You know, he's just, you know what? This is going to be the pick, guys.
yeah.
All right. So
All
our
over
first
the
two.
place in the national championship game.
Yeah.
Just
Yeah, he was everywhere. He's a jack of all trades. Spencer Fano was number one pick at pick 11. D'Angelo Pons was our second round pick at 43. We are now picking at 75, 87, and 90 in rounds 3. And we have some really, really great options here, man. We have
if we're
Garrett
going
Nuss.
to the chat here for a sec too. I mean,
Yep.
Jorge also likes Mansour Deline and Caleb Downs as well. And we picked up a corner. We haven't picked up a safety yet. I think the third round could be a good spot for that if there's one on the board. But like you mentioned, we have 3 picks in this round, and there is expected to be quite a bit of talent left. Oh, Rodriguez went 2 picks before us.
Yep. Isn't that how it always goes?
Brutal.
And Zachariah Branch was another really good wide receiver. So let's think about what Miami does here. I assume this is going to be a very defensive heavy draft, right?
Yes.
Which is going to be entertaining to an extent. But we picked a guard tackle guard. We picked a cornerback. Yep. Where do you see us going? Do you think that we touch the quarterback position this early in the third round, or do you think we wait and get somebody later in the rounds, like in Drew Aller, like a Carson Beck, like a or one of those guys, or do you think we jump on Garrett Nussmeier this early, or do you think we hit wide receiver, or do you think we turn back to the defensive side of the ball?
I mean, we need edge rushers like you wouldn't believe. I mean, we're going to see what happens in free agency here coming up in a week. Mm-hmm. I was going to say a few weeks. It's not a few weeks. It's a week. No, it's next week. Yeah, Monday starts the tampering period. I think we're definitely going to grab an edge rusher in the third, regardless of if we took one in the first or second. I think we will take another one here in the third. I could see us going for a Nussmeier or one of the other tier 3 quarterbacks here if they fall to the third pick in the third round. Yeah, I don't think we'll take one with any of the first 2.
So where do you see us going? Oh God, this is one of my. This guy has such a
Jennings Dunker, baby,
dude. He's a stallion. He's got the world's largest mullet. It's amazing.
I wouldn't be mad about Dunker, honestly. I wouldn't be mad about Dunker. I wouldn't be mad about
I like Lawson.
I think Connor Lewis, or did he get taken?
No, Connor
Lewis still there. I wouldn't be mad about that if he wanted to slide over. Yep. I don't know what edge rushers are even available. I mean, I see Overton there, but he's not very high on your list, so that's going to, cause some concern for me.
Anthony Lucas and Kerryon Crawford are probably, I mean, these are a little bit too early to draft these guys. I am very low on LT Overton personally. I mean,
yeah,
he brings.
Yeah, I don't see the value here at edge rusher. So let's move on to a different position.
Yeah. So what position do you want to take a look at? Do you think
let's take a look at safety and corner?
Yeah. Yeah, I think so, because the safety group is either you take one in rounds 1 or 2, or you wait.
Good here. So let's go to corner.
Yeah. There's some talent here.
There's some names here. Yeah, for sure.
Everett and Moore, not 2 guys I'm super thrilled with taking at 75, if I'm being honest.
I think the way the board fell is we're taking another offensive lineman here. I think the offensive lineman fell to us.
Yeah.
In this scenario, some of the receivers, Malachi Fields, obviously, and
dude, that's who I'm really thinking about right now.
Yeah,
personally, just because I have such a his game and his height, and it's and I think back to what this coaching staff, what Half and Sully has said about wanting to get bigger in that room, and the fact that all we really have is Jalen Waddle as a kind of initial wide receiver on the roster. I mean, I know we have Malik Washington, I know we have Taj Washington, but those are development guys. We need a bigger body. So do we hit that in free agency or do we hit it in the draft at some point? And there are a ton of tall wide receivers in this year's draft. Thank God. But Malachi Fields, man, he put on a show. He put on a clinic at the Senior Bowl. And he put on, I mean, he ran a little slower than we thought, but he's like what is he, 6'5", 6'4"? And he just catches everything. And that's really where I'm leaning, but I'm also okay going Connor Lew or even taking a little bit of a reach and taking Dunker, the Stallion.
Yeah, I'm between those three, if I'm being honest. I'm between, and I'm not going to pretend that I know most of these names on the board. You're just kind of going over names. But, position-wise, I kind of went over what I would be looking for here. There's no value at edge right here. There's no value at corner or safety. So, I mean, I'm between Fields, Lou, and Gunner, and I think you should make that selection there.
Done. Malachi Fields is a Miami Dolphin, baby.
Let's get to the chat for just a sec. Yeah, Abel, the third round, we have a nice number of picks, 3 picks in the third. That'll really help us with the rebuild. I know that Sully has mentioned that he wants to get more picks as well. He wants to turn 8 picks into 11. I know he's speaking, hyperbolic there, but I do think he wants to get more picks. Michael, welcome into the show, dude. I do not know if this is the draft to be doing that, and that certainly would take more than just 2 ones and a third, but I do appreciate the passion there. We do need a quarterback of the future. I just don't think that.
Although, look, if we're being honest, all joking aside, and I know I'm saying this a little tongue in cheek, Michael, if any team is going to say, just give us
it would be the
Raiders. So, I mean, I am not high on Mendoza personally. I think next year's draft in 2027 is going to be stock loaded with quarterback talent.
If we were sitting at 1 already, then I'd be like, let's go.
Or even if we were at 3, I would entertain the idea of that would cost if we were moving from like 4 to 1, we would have to give up 4 next year's 1 and a pick swap in the later rounds to do that.
Or like a Jalen Waddle or something. Yeah.
Right. Yeah. So I love the passion though, and that would be amazing. But unfortunately, this
the passion's what I'm here for right there.
Yeah.
Markel Bell, the tackle, 6'9", 345. Jesus. Another giant. Could you imagine?
God, it's the Twin Towers between him and
Twin Towers.
Patrick Paul. Oh, that's funny. But
all right, so
our picks now, we have at pick 11, we took Fano. Who I think personally is probably going to be a better guard than a tackle, but wherever they play him, they play him. We need both on the right side.
We need bodies on the offensive line.
Yep. So we took one of our one of the favorites of the show in D'Angelo Pons with our second round pick. At the 75th pick in the third round, we took Malachi Fields, the real tall wide receiver out of Notre Dame, who put on a fucking clinic at the Senior Bowl and at the Combine. And look who fell to us. I'm not saying we take Nussmeier here. I'm not even saying Nussmeier is the pick. For me personally, it's Drew Aller. I think Drew Aller put on a hell of an outing at the Combine. Really kind of changed my mind on him personally. Has a ton of starts at the college level. Is a seasoned college quarterback. But Garrett Nussmeier is shaking his head at us and waving at us. So is this the point where we dive in, or do we take Deontay Lawson, the linebacker out of Alabama, who is a very, very, very good player?
Yeah, my hesitation with Nussmeier is the height, the size thing again. I mean, I think and maybe it's overcorrecting, but I want to see us go the opposite direction with the size. I want to go taller. I'm not confident in any of the quarterbacks after Mendoza. I don't think any of them are going to be the guy. It's just going to be a guy who competes this year and gets replaced next year.
It's kind of it feels like a wasted pick, right? Almost this early.
Right. So when we're looking at it from that perspective, I'd rather take a shot on Taylon Green later on than take a shot on any of these guys, At least Green brings some excitement, and he's got the speed, he's got the athleticism. According to Taylor, he can throw. I don't know. I know that you were going to watch this tape. I don't know if you ever got around to that, because I know we've been pretty busy.
I did not get a chance, unfortunately.
Yeah. So I'm not going quarterback here. It's interesting that Connor Lew is still here, but I keep thinking about what you're saying about Fano being a guard, and then I'm like, okay, then we end up with 2 guards here. Yeah, that's not very helpful.
And I'm not saying that he might go and play tackle, right, and be very good at it. I'm just saying, like, from what McShay and some of the people that you and I both respect in this game, they're all saying it might make a lot more sense, given his shorter arms, to move into guard where he can utilize his power and his athleticism in the phone booth as opposed to getting stuck out on an island on the outside. But I mean, he played tackle in college and he's rated very, very high. So,
you know what I see here that immediately pops out? I know nothing about the player, but I know about the school and I know about the position at the school being a very successful position at the school. And that's the linebacker from Alabama, Deontay Lawson. I don't know anything about him. I know that we need a coverage linebacker. And if he's not a coverage linebacker, then okay. Because we have Jordan Brooks to kind of do the rest of the stuff there. But that name pops out at me just looking at the 5 or 6 names that you're showing right now.
Yeah, he's more of a Brooks than he is a coverage linebacker. I have him on my top 150 board at 145. Okay. I'm not saying that doesn't mean we can't take him here.
Let's see who else we have because we have a lot of receivers here.
Yep. Ton of receivers. Kyle Lewis. Oh, Kalen Rutledge is another one of my favorites in this draft. In the later rounds, not early. Wheatley's pretty damn good. I'm trying to find what I have his player comp as. I'm looking at my board right now. Hold on one second. Where the hell did he go? Oh, I don't even have him on my board. Okay, never mind. Genesis Smith is a guy that people are big on.
I think we need to find another corner and an edge rusher in this 3rd round if they exist. Any of these edge rushers pop out to you? Just thinking in terms of like,
let's go to the edge rushers.
People watching right now, they may be interested in who's.
Honestly, not at 87. If I'm being honest, not here. But if I go to the linebackers, where are the linebackers?
You know what's great about this exercise though? Is that now I know edge rusher over lineman in the 1st round. Because there's a lot of linemen here, but there's not a lot of edge rushers.
Yep.
And I think that's probably what the teams are doing too. When they do like their kind of play it out, their role playing, their mock drafts and stuff like that, they're probably going.
Yeah.
And I don't honestly, like how this feel.
I'm going to be honest with you. Of the players here, if we're not taking Nussmeier, we don't want to double up on wide receiver or an interior lineman. I think Deontay Lawson's probably the pick here. It's not. I don't feel really great about it if I'm being completely candid, but given how the board fell, or we can take Grayson Halton, the defensive tackle, interior guy, but we're stock loaded on those, so I don't really know if that makes a lot of sense. So if you don't want to take Nussmeier here, I personally probably think we should go Lawson just to give us some extra bodies in the linebacker room.
Scroll a little bit more for me. Is Kyle Lewis any good? I don't know anything about this guy.
Linebacker out of Pitt. Let's see. So overall grade was very bad in 23, was phenomenal in 24, and kind of came back down to earth.
Averaged out. Yeah.
Played on the D line and play in slot. No cornerback, right? Coverage snaps. Close to over 324, close to 325. So he can cover. I'll be curious to see what those numbers are for Lawson as well.
Yeah.
Let's see. Shit. Right. That's pretty consistent. 300, 200, 300, 300, and
300 coverage snaps a year for 3 years. Yeah, I like Alabama linebackers, man. Yeah. I'm leaning here. I know he doesn't look like the best, but we're in the 3rd round. We got to go with some upside.
Easy peasy. We took the linebacker.
We're gonna have the same problem here. I got to take Connor Lew here. I'm sorry, like he's dropped all the way to 90. I don't care if we have like a known position for him yet, but this is one of the few names I know in this draft, which is phenomenal. And had a rough year last year. Obviously was hurt. You can see just by the fact he only played 7 games.
Yeah.
At the 3rd pick in the 3rd round, I'm willing to take a chance on him returning to the form he had in 2024 when he had 75.7.
Yeah, he's clearly a better pass blocker than he is a run blocker, which terrifies me. But he's an exclusive center, so that tells me what he's backing up Brewer, because we're in the process of trying to re-sign him, according to Dolphins media.
Well, let's look around then. I know he's at a position we don't necessarily need. If he can't play guard, then I don't really want to put a square peg in a round hole. There's plenty of wide receivers to choose from. Kalen Rutledge is still here.
Look
at those snaps, bro.
Right? I'm telling you, I'm a big fan of his. not big enough to have. I don't know where he's on my top 150. I know he's on there, but
there's a few things I want to talk about with this one right here, and
6'4",
he's got
330.
great size. But a
He's
few things
only
I want to talk
22.
about is things that I like from draft picks are lots of snaps in college, right?
Mhm.
Like, did you actually play, or were you a 1 year wonder? I hate 1 year wonders, and I know a lot of them work out, but just me personally, I'm not a fan. Did you get better every single year? You can see here. I don't know if you like PFF grades or not, but if you do, 2023, 60.8, 2024, 64, 2025, 76.7. He got
Yep.
better every single year, which means
Think you lost your mic, buddy. Can you hear me, guys? Can you guys hear me okay? Because I can't hear you. I think you lost your mic. I hope you guys can hear me and not him, and I'm the one talking on mute. But yeah, Kalen Rutledge is going to be a guy that clear to Anthony's point has gotten better every year.
can you hear me now?
Hey, there he is. Yes.
My bad. I don't know what happened.
That's okay.
Yes.
So what
all
were you
I
saying?
said after that was that you have him 76 on your board, so this is a steal for us if we took him here at 90.
Yeah, and I think that's the pick. And the other thing and I think that's a good pick. Are you okay with that?
Yeah, I mean we solidified the offensive line right there.
Yeah, and I do think especially Georgia Tech runs the triple option a lot, so he's good in space because he has to be, right? And let's see what I'm sure. Yeah, it loves Malachi. They love Malachi Lyman, so they did not like a round 1 pick 11 pick.
They like Fields.
Yeah. And they like Rutledge. They were lukewarm on Pons. They were average on Lawson, and they hated the Fano pick.
They're the lowest I've seen on Fano, honestly.
Yeah, me too.
He's top 10 pretty much everywhere else I look, and they have him at 21. It's interesting.
Yeah, and we're 47 minutes in. We like to try to keep these under an hour if and when we can. Do you want to just burn through another 3 round, and just we don't have to talk about them a lot, but see if we take an edge in round 1 and what falls to us in rounds 2 and 3, or do you want to call it quits here and we're good?
We could do another. I just want to talk about takeaways from this and things I noticed while we're drafting that really made me think about it. Like, there was a lot of wide receiver and offensive line talent in the back half of the 3rd round. And that made me kind of regret the Spencer Fano pick at 11. It didn't make me regret Fields because I do think Fields is better than everybody else, but we got Fields in the 3rd round anyways.
Right.
But the lack of cornerback depth, safety depth, and edge rusher depth after round 2 really has me worried about where we're going to go in this draft. Like, that means we're only really going to get 2 bona fide playmakers at those 3 positions of need.
Yeah.
And then the 3rd round is going to be kind of a crapshoot.
Yeah, I mean, it's going to require a lot of luck with how the board falls, and it's going to require us to do some signings in free agency, right? We can't go into the season with the cornerback room in the way it is.
No, we will. We have to sign people in free agency. I mean, I know that we don't have any money, but they're going to have to find money because we don't have enough players to field the team right now.
Yeah, we actually aren't horrible on cash, and we don't have a lot of it. We have enough to make some moves, and especially if we cut Alec Ingold and we cut Jason Sanders, that gives us another $8-ish million to spend in true cap space, plus getting if we find a trade partner for why am I blanking on that guy's name? The safety. Who's our safety?
Oh, Minka Fitzpatrick.
Thank you. Jesus Christ. Yeah. If we find a trade partner for him, it opens up some cash. So hopefully we have enough to make some moves, because it's funny how these board falls, but let's start.
Let's do another quick one. Yeah.
Let's do another one. And you know what? I'm going to reset this to beginning. There we go. We're going to do 3 rounds. We'll do it turbo, so we go fast. We're not going to talk a lot about these guys unless somebody crazy falls to us. And we're not going to do trades again. So let's just let it go do its thing. All right, who's there at 11? Same fucking guys over and over and over again, right? All right, so where would you go here? Would you just do the safe pick and go cornerback, Mansour Delane, call it a day?
Let's talk about trades for a second, because to me, like if the board keeps falling this way, which PFF clearly thinks it's going to, it's Mansour Delane, and if Mansour Delane's not there, I'm trading back because there's nobody else here that I really like, right?
Yeah.
And now that may not be true for our front office. They may really like Dylan Thieneman a lot, or Caleb Banks a lot. That they're like, oh, let's trade Sealer or something. I don't know. They may like Keldrick Falk a lot. I have no idea.
Yeah.
But to me, when I look at this, I'm like, I don't see the talent for the 11th pick in the draft outside of Mansour Delane. So I would take him, and if he's not there, I'm trading back.
Yeah, same. I mean, I think this for me, I mean, outside of one of the crazy guys falling to us for whatever, like Caleb Downs from the medical shit, or somehow we strike gold and my bong video that I'm posting on every social media that I can find of Sonny Styles, and it happens to work and he happens to be there at 11. He's who I'm running to take. But yeah, no, in this case, in this scenario, and I'm going to be honest, in most scenarios, I'm taking Mansour Delane, and he's going to be my number one cornerback starting day one.
It's a lock, dude.
Yeah. All right, let's take him. I know it's the vanilla pick. I know it's super boring.
That's fine.
Right. Oh, this is interesting.
Brother, if Ty Simpson falls to 43, I'm taking him. I'm just saying, like, I know it's an Alabama quarterback, and I know he had a rough back half of the year, but if you listen to the conversations that people in the know are having about why he had a back half of the year that was bad, like, most of it was out of his control. I think he actually is a very good quarterback, and he can fling it.
So you're taking another. Well, he's not short. Fuck you.
6'2", 208 isn't as tall as I want him to be.
Yeah.
And I know he's coming from Alabama. We have some
jaded.
We're in the fields. We're in the fields about Alabama. But if Ty Simpson falls to you at 43, that's a gift, man.
All right, fuck it. Let's see what happens. All right. So, all right. Gift horse meat mouth. Okay. Let's see.
Oh, your boy Danny Dennis Sutton fell to us at the first pick.
I'm not even asking. He's the pick, ladies and gentlemen.
This one fell way better.
Yeah.
This one fell way better for us.
Let's see.
Jake Slaughter's there. Rutledge is there.
I'm taking Nussmeier. No, I'm kidding.
Double up on quarterback. I wouldn't hate it, honestly, if we didn't have so many other needs.
I mean, yeah. Here, shit. I'm taking. I know it's kind of boring because we just took him, but I'm taking Rutledge again in this.
Dunker went right before us, by the way.
I know. I'm so
86.
Mad. The Stallion.
I would either take Rutledge, or if you like any of these wide receivers here, I would go with one of those.
Yeah, I mean, I don't hate. I mean, Chris Brazel's another tall guy. He's 6'5", right? I mean, he's massive. Yeah. I clicked out. Sorry. 2023 had a hell of a year. I don't know what happened in 2024. Bounced back in 2025 with over 1,000 yards. 9 touchdowns. I mean, he was kind of Tennessee's guy. He only had 2 drops on the year on how many receptions did he have?
86 targets.
86 targets. So not horrible, but not great either. But you look at, I mean, some of the good teams he played.
Good game against Georgia.
Against Mississippi State, an okay game against Alabama, okay game against OU. So I mean, sure, that adds height. Deion Burks is a guy that I really like a lot. He's unfortunately 5'9", so probably not going to take him.
Probably not. Yeah.
Here, honestly, I hate to beat the dead horse, but I'm taking Rutledge. I think he's
go with Rutledge, man. We need an offensive lineman for sure.
Yeah. And so let's just and here I'm probably taking Crawford if I'm being honest. Let's see. So we got Mansour Delane, Ty Simpson, Danny Dennis Sutton at edge. Okay, so we don't need an edge. We took one already. We got a guard. So probably let's look at wide receivers.
I'm okay with doubling up on edge if you wanted to. What about Justin Jolie? Is he a tight end this high? Or I don't remember seeing him last round.
Yeah, he's rocketing up people's boards. I mean, I'm a Florida State grad, and I remember watching this game, and he fucking tore us a new one. So he can play.
What's his size?
6'3", 2. He's, I don't know what he is, if he's more of a blocker, but it looks like, I think, if I'm not mistaken, where's his target?
Looks to be a blocker, really.
Yeah.
Just looking by the receiving numbers aren't crazy.
Yeah, but his run block grade is low. His receiving grade is very high.
Interesting. It's the opposite of what I would expect after seeing the stats.
Same. I mean, 500 yards, 600, 650-ish yards.
It is NC State. How much are they throwing for? I don't even know.
Yeah, I don't know either. But so that's a question. I'm honestly probably sticking with I'm probably going Brazel here just to hit the wide receiver room. If this is how the board fell, we're just looking to see if there's anyone else worth taking down here. And nah, not this. We're too far down at this point. So yeah, it's between double up on edge with Crawford or taking a wide receiver out of Tennessee. I mean,
depends what you feel about Chop, I guess. But we need a rotation guy too. So I'm okay with Crawford or with Brazel. I mean,
right.
And we've hit a bunch of positions of need that we didn't have to reach for.
And you got your boy Ty Simpson.
We got Ty Simpson. It was an A+ for that. I'm just saying.
Yeah, that's a much better draft.
Yeah. That draft felt way better than the first one.
Yeah.
And we will, I know we didn't do 7 rounds, Josh, and now that I'm thinking about it, we should have done 7 rounds, so we have it for the website. So Josh and I will put together a 7-round mock for the website after the fact. But I think the importance of running these mock drafts, or the fun of running these mock drafts, is just to see how the board falls, man. Like, the board can fall so many different ways. It's guaranteed not to fall the way it just did in the 2 mock drafts that we just did.
No.
But some of the names out there, some of the positions, positions I think are what the most important is. You know, what positions are we targeting, and is the value there at that position, at that pick? The 11th pick in the draft almost feels like a foregone conclusion that it's going to be Mansour Delane.
I mean, barring any kind of crazy falls or trade downs or whatever, pre-draft.
We'll see how that works out. I know that we're starting to see different people projected to Miami at 11, but this is also the part of the year where everybody's like, well, I've done the same person to them at 11 4 times already. Let me do somebody else.
And it's also the time of year where you can't believe anything you hear. Anything. Right. Zero. Like, I don't believe that Caleb Downs really has an injury, if I'm being honest. I'm not saying he doesn't. But
the Giants let that leak because they want him to fall to 5. That's what
this is the smoke screen time of year. So just be careful what you believe and what you read. Take everything with a grain of salt until you see it happen.
Absolutely. Thank you all so much for joining us today, by the way. Mock drafts are hella fun. We actually have 2 more mock drafts lined up for the off season here. We have one post free agency, and then we have one the week of the draft, which we will be live for, by the way, for the first round. On April 23rd, Thursday, April 23rd, we will be live for the first round of the NFL draft. We are also doing Thursday. We will launch the free agent traps to watch out for. Free agency is starting on Monday, so we will kind of want to get ahead of it by saying, like, hey, these guys are probably a trap, and we'll talk about what that means, so that you're a little more aware going into the free agency. But until then, thank you all so much for joining us. If you haven't hit the subscribe button yet, please do. We're at 151. That's because of you guys hitting that button, so thank you so much. And if you want to give it a like, or if you liked any part of this video whatsoever, please hit the thumbs up button. We really appreciate it. So for Josh, a.k.a. Aqua Ace, over here to my left, I'm Anthony Pinzone. This has been another episode of the 305 Gridiron. Thank you so much for watching, and fins up, everybody.